$1,000 repatriation bonus on a pleasant retirement in a cushy suburb of Nizhny Novgorod. An unexpectedly early, but easy-to-swallow end to his service on behalf of Mother Russia. Chapter 2. Carl Berg arranged to take the phone call away from Helen Gray's apartment despite the oppressive 93-degree temperature and light drizzle. It wasn't that he didn't trust the people back at the apartment. He trusted them implicitly. He did it out of respect and, most importantly, out of utmost concern for the retired FSB officer's safety. Berg needed to speak freely with his old adversary-turned-friend, unhindered by the worry that he might repeat a word or phrase used by the Russian that could be tortured out of someone in the apartment or even himself to reveal his friend's identity. He understood the extreme unlikeliness of that scenario, but one could never be too careful in this business, particularly with the identity of a source like Kaparov. And especially given that a red notice had been placed on his and Rich Farrington's names only days after the Baltimore shootout. Publicly, the FBI and Baltimore Police Department had attributed the multiple-location, high-casualty count gun battle to a boiled-over turf struggle between two competing Russian mafia factions. Internally, the truth would appear far more complicated. 3 of the dead Russians had established connections to Russian consulates, implying a state-sanctioned operation. The nexus between the red notice and the Russian-involved shootout would not go unnoticed. He scrolled through his signal exchange with Audra Bauer a few days ago. Bauer. Carl, just got a call from Dana O'Reilly at the FBI. Russia and Kazakhstan filed red notices for you and Rich. She's looking into it on her end. I'll do the same. She's not worried about it. DOJ will most likely ignore the notice unless the Russians or their puppet regime push the issue. No travel outside of the U.S. for now. Hope you're not up to your old tricks. Winky face. Berg. Old tricks die hard. Need to show you something. It's critical. Bauer. Connected to Baltimore? Berg. Who said anything about Baltimore? Bauer. When and where to meet? Berg. Within a few days. Need to sort a few things out. I'll get back to you with specifics. We didn't talk, in case anyone asks. Bauer. Understood. Berg. Look forward to catching up. Bauer. Sounds like a real blast. Berg. You have no idea. I'll be in touch. Not finding any benches along the winding cobblestone walkways inside Greenmount Cemetery, Berg unslung a small backpack and took a seat on a concrete and stone retaining wall within sight of the entrance. Jared Hoffman had followed him here at a distance, just to be sure he hadn't been followed. The team had covered its tracks returning to Baltimore, but given the widespread penetration of the sleeper network, they weren't taking any chances. If Hoffman appeared inside the wrought iron gate at any point, Berg would know they'd been discovered. He had to be careful with Kaparov. Berg's inside information into Russian security service operations had undoubtedly piqued the interest of the CIA and FBI at some point in the past. The red notice had the potential to reignite that curiosity. A quick look at his watch indicated that Kaparov should call any minute now. They'd arranged 3 5-minute call windows to account for any unavoidable circumstance that might prevent either of them from talking. One now, one 4 hours from now, and one at midnight Eastern Standard Time, which was 8 in the morning in Moscow. If the two of them failed to make contact today, no further communication would be attempted, the assumption being that something had gone terribly wrong on one end. He removed the satellite phone from his backpack and set it on the rain-drenched wall, wishing he had brought his umbrella. The drizzle turned out to be a little more than he'd bargained for. The phone rang, instantly distracting him from the weather. Berg answered the call, and they both negotiated the short passcode drill established years ago. "I need to keep this short," said Kaparov. "I'm on the other side of Moscow, and I'd like to get home before the hoodlums take over the plaza in front of my apartment building." It sounded like Kaparov had executed a surveillance detection route prior to making this call, a promising sign that he'd uncovered sensitive information. "Don't they know who they're messing with?" said Berg. "Huh, today's youth have no respect for anything," said Kaparov, "especially us pensioners."